What is going on, everybody? I am back today to talk about a new release movie that just came out this weekend that I have been very excited to see. And despite it being the month of January, which is notorious for having a lot of really bad movies be released simultaneously, I could not help but be extremely enthusiastic about this movie for a couple of reasons. The first one being Sophie Thatcher. I love Sophie Thatcher. I think she is such an incredibly talented actress. First introduced to her through Yellow Jackets, I absolutely loved her performance in Heretic. I just feel like she constantly delivers incredible performances, and I've actually been really hooked on her music recently. She released an EP not too long ago, and I'd highly recommend, if you're interested in her work, check out her music. It's very, very great. And I also love Zach Cregger. He just seems like such a genuine guy, and every time I see him in movies, I just always really appreciate his performance. He was on Red Letter Media not that long ago, and I just thought he provided such great insight in the episode, and it was just really kind of charming and funny. And so to have both of them in this movie made me really excited to watch it. I knew like nothing about this before I went in to see it. I saw the brief little teaser trailer that they released a while back that gave nothing away about the movie. I know there's some people that said some of the recent trailers that have been released gave away a lot more, so I'm glad that I avoided those. But the movie I'm going to be telling you about today is Companion. Companion is directed by Drew Hancock. A billionaire's death sets off a chain of events for Iris and her friends during a weekend trip to his lakeside estate. So I was really excited to watch this movie. Like I said, Sophie Thatcher, Zach Quaid, really excited to see how they did in this movie. And I absolutely loved this. I genuinely loved everything about it. And I am so glad that I knew nothing about the movie before I went in to go see it, other than the little brief teaser trailer that I watched. And I want to preface this review by saying, like, if you're a citizen in the United States of America right now, you are probably horrified every morning when you wake up at the slew of just terrible information that we're getting day in and day out. And I feel like, as someone who is a YouTube movie reviewer, puts out a review every single day, 365 days a year. Lately, I've had a really hard time investing myself in media and like appreciating this art form that I love so much, because I just feel incredibly distracted. And going to the theater and watching this movie brought me the most immense amount of joy that you can even imagine. It was a packed theater. Everyone was super reactive in a way that was very respectful, that they were just enjoying the movie. Everyone was just along for the ride with all the twists and turns. They felt the suspense. They laughed at the really incredible moments. And it reminded me why I love movies so much. And it just made me appreciate this movie even more than I already was while I was watching it. And I'm going to start off by talking about this movie with absolutely no spoilers. And then I'm going to talk about spoilers later on in the video. But right now, I want to give you as little information as possible and tell you the things that I enjoyed about the movie. So at the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to Iris, played by Sophie Thatcher, and Josh, played by Zach Quaid. And the two of them are driving to this house in the middle of nowhere that Josh's friends are staying at. And the owner of this house is this multimillionaire, and he is married, but he's dating Josh's friend Kat, played by Suri. And then at the house is the couple Eli, played by Harvey, Guillén, and Patrick, played by Lukas Gage. And they're all coming together for this weekend, and something horrific happens while they are at the house together, which sets off this intense set of circumstances that cause violence and intrigue and mystery that will keep you on the edge of your seat until the very end of the movie. So like I said, kept that very vague because I don't want to tell you much about it, but I'm going to tell you right now what I loved about this movie. For starters, Sophie Thatcher, she just needs to be cast in so much more as of now. She is showcasing exactly what it means to be an incredibly talented actor. There's so much about her performance in this movie, not just in the way that she delivers dialogue, but one of my favorite things about acting, and specifically the actors that I love the most, are what you can do when it comes to facial expressions and reactiveness. There's something about the way she performed in this movie. In any circumstance, whether she was up here or way down here, that the way that she was reacting with her face and her bodily movements, it was so incredibly authentic. And when we learn more about her character, she has to do a whole lot more. And I just thought that it was a pitch perfect performance. And honestly, I could not picture anyone else in this role. I think that she was absolutely brilliant in this movie, and I cannot wait to see her more in the future. I loved her in Heretic, and I really loved her in Yellow Jackets, but she was the standout in this film. Jack Quaid, phenomenal in this movie, plays really kind of out of the norm for what we know him as in a lot of movies that he's been in, but he really nails it in this movie. I thought that he did a really great job, and I commend him for his performance. Harvey Guillén, I love him in What We Do in the Shadows, and he is phenomenal in this movie as well. Brought a lot of really great comedy and really made the movie an entertaining and enjoying watch. And Lukas Gage, who has been in quite a bit recently, another standout in this movie. I really liked his performance. He has to be really kind of stoic and quiet in moments, and I really thought that he just nailed it, especially when his character has some shifts throughout the movie. He was just really great. As far as the cinematography is concerned, this movie is shot very well. It looks really great. There's a lot of attention to detail in landscape shots, and I feel like the camera knew exactly when to hold on specific things. There's some really creative editing techniques in this, and also like shift of perspective with the camera that I really liked a lot, and I felt like kept me very engaged in the movie. And because there's a lot of twists and turns along the way, made it a really easy watch. Also, the music that's used in this movie really helps carry it from start to finish, and there's a lot of interesting messaging in this movie when it comes to relationships, toxic relationships, control by men, expectations set on women, which I can talk about a little bit more when I spoil the movie, but I wanted to give you as much as I could without ruining it, and that is as much as I can talk about. Just know this is an entertaining ride at the movies. If you love suspense thrillers, if you love horror comedies, you're going to really appreciate this. Go support it in the theater. But from this point on, I'm going to talk about spoilers. I can't talk about a lot of the things that I love without spoiling the movie. So if you've already seen it, continue on this journey. But if you haven't, I'd recommend stopping the review here, going and watch it, and then come back and listen to the remainder of my thoughts. So the spoiler of the movie is Sophie Thatcher's character is actually a companion robot. She is programmed to essentially meet with a customer. She gets to like read the customer's face, and the scenario of how they met and dated is programmed into her brain. She has no idea that she's a robot. She can feel emotion, she can feel pain, and she has all of these different memories that essentially make her feel like a human being. And so we don't learn that until about the 25-30 minute mark of the movie, and we learn that she has essentially been brought to this place to kill this millionaire so that Jack Quaid's character and Megan Suri's character can steal the money. And Harvey Guillén's character is unaware of that, and it's really interesting the way they pulled off the twist, and I was very appreciative of it. And one of the things I loved about Sophie Thatcher's performance is the way that she comes to the realization when she is told that she is a robot. Just like the realization, the pain and the horror in her face as to like I thought I was a person and now I'm being told I'm not. You genuinely felt the pain and the horror in her face and in the reaction, and it made it feel really genuine, which when she was put in peril later on in the movies, normally you're like you're watching a movie and it's a robot, but she had so much authentic emotion attached to her that it made it very easy to watch her from scene to scene and care about her when she was put in danger. Jack Quaid plays a manipulative asshole very well in this movie. He is pure evil. He gaslights her consistently. He is very selfish. He's self-centered, and he wants the world to revolve around him. And I think this movie speaks volumes to toxicity in relationships and controlling dominant men in relationships. And it's just really harrowing to watch just the way that he's willing to manipulate her. And then like even when they get into big fights throughout the movie, how he's willing to kind of try to lure her back in with like his charm and then just immediately pull the rug out from under her. I really liked all of that in this movie, and I felt like the emotional stakes made the film an even better watch. I really appreciated it for that very reason. And aside from all of that, it's just a really fun and entertaining thriller that kept me engaged until the very end. I loved the way the movie wrapped up. I thought that the scene that played through over the credits was a really nice kind of bow on top of all of it. And it's just a pure entertaining 90 minutes that I feel like appeals to anyone who loves movies. I mean, it's like I said, dark times recently, been kind of hard for me to immerse myself into film completely. And this, I was sucked in with an audience who was laughing and like gasping in the suspenseful moments and just truly and completely enjoying themselves and reminding me why I love movies so much, because movies are an escape from the world. They are a way for you to pour yourself into something, whether that thing is directly reflective of what's going on in culture, an escape from that culture, and you can just pour yourself into it and have 90 minutes to 3 hours of just shutting your brain off and enjoy yourself. And that is what I love so deeply about movies. And I'm so appreciative that Companion exists and that we got a really great movie in the month of January. So have you seen Companion? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was fantastic. I loved it. I cannot wait to watch it again. Go support this thing while it's in theaters. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.